We're recording. Boom, boom. What's good?
Sure.
Hello. Welcome back, kings, queens, and everything in between, to another episode of the Peasant Party Podcast. I am your host, Charlotte Warren, and to my right is a man in a cowboy hat. What's
Howdy.
good? Howdy?
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name's Buddy Pearson.
Yeah?
Yep.
And you have a different hat than usual.
Yes, I'm wearing an American straw hat today.
Nice. What's it feel like? How does it feel?
Pretty good right now. I wouldn't mind, I think, having it like reshaped to be a little bit more steep. It's good right now. I don't know. I like it.
You look good.
Thanks.
You look pretty
It's nice and
sexy.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you recently had a birthday.
I did.
Happy 38th birthday.
Thank you. I thought you said 30th. This was actually my birthday present for my girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She must really like you.
I guess sometimes. Some
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. What else is new?
We went to a concert on Saturday. That was really great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
End of the month.
Yeah, it is the end of the month. We also learned a new word. I learned a new word last night.
New term.
A new term.
Yeah.
Waffle stomping.
Yes.
It's a new SAT word of the week. Do you guys know what a waffle stomp is? Because I just learned what it is.
It has nothing to do with egos.
No, it has no. You don't. You wouldn't want it to. A waffle stomp is when you need to use the restroom. No, a waffle stomp is when you poop in the shower, and you don't know where to put it. You don't know where it goes. It's got to go down somewhere, so you got to stomp it down the drain.
Yeah. And it's called a waffle stomp because like shower drains sometimes look like
Waffles.
grids. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not getting in any. I have no plans to get into any waffle stomps this week, but it was a funny word, and we learned it at the Comedy Mothership Secret Show, or not the Secret Show, the Bottom of the Barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is new?
What else is new?
We did go to the Comedy Mothership
We
last
did.
night. We went to Bottom of the Barrel. We got to see a lot of great comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a concert recently.
Zach Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
You're a big fan.
I am. We had a great time.
He was great live.
Show was fantastic.
Fantastic show.
I wish we were going tonight in San Antonio.
Well, I think we're going to Mudbugs tonight. Maybe that's the next best thing.
Yeah.
That's one of our favorite restaurants.
It's in Buda.
Buda.
Yep.
I like Buda.
We do too. I
Yeah.
do too.
Yeah. Any dating takes, hot takes before we jump into our discussion?
I haven't been getting a ton of dating stuff like on my social feeds lately. I did see like there's a viral video where these two girls are like walking away from like a bar or a restaurant or something of the sorts, and they're saying like I forget exactly what the quote was, but it's like hard to believe that two beautiful girls just left and were not even approached, not even talked to. I think we're really starting to see like a shift, and I don't think it's like one of those things where people aren't dating or people don't care, aren't trying anymore. I just think that in a lot of ways, like approaching someone in public is not as worth it as maybe it used to be.
Yeah. Like,
Less people, I think, are getting into serious committed relationships. I think that is slowing down.
mm-hmm.
And so with the likelihood of someone getting into a serious committed relationship going down, approaching someone, the rise and continual rise of social media and being shamed on social media for approaching someone, whatever. Yeah.
It's also, there's just tools that make that easier. Like, you can spare yourself the frustration of being rejected by using a dating app. You never have to see that person reject you.
Yeah.
You can slide into someone's DMs, and even then, like, I mean, that's more direct, but like, you don't have to see them
Sure.
physically. And it's just, yeah, there's alternatives, so people are taking them. I don't know.
Yeah, I also think it's I think I've probably even said this on here before, but I think it's a silly take to like see someone that you're interested in and wait on them to approach you.
Yeah.
Like in an age where we are all equal, have equal rights and all that, I think that if you want to talk to someone, you should just talk to them.
Yeah. It's also like there's subtle ways to do it. Not every approach to someone is, hello, like, you know, I want you. It's like you can always just do the, like, what are you drinking? And if they just say vodka soda and turn back around,
Not
probably
even
don't want to
that.
talk
You can
to
just say like, hey, I like your shirt.
Yeah. Literally anything. And if they're
Especially,
into it.
yeah, a lot of times guys will take, like, they just need you to crack the door open to let them know that it's okay to enter the room. And a lot of times, like, a table, especially like multiple girls at a table, is an intimidating thing.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to be approached and you're at a bar or a restaurant or a public place, find a way to get away from your group. Maybe go to the bar solo, maybe walk to the bathroom, take the long way by the person you're hoping approaches you, make eye contact. There's ways to let someone know that you're interested without having to just go up to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like I think some people think they seem approachable, and it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I mean, it's also like, if you are an attractive woman, you're intimidating to a lot of people off the rip.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, go up. I also think, like, when I was single, there's something kind of fun about it. Just like going up and talking to someone. Like, I would never be like that direct, but there was something that was kind of fun about, okay, cool. Like he was interested and stuff like that. And it didn't make me feel like I was chasing, like I don't think something's chasing unless someone's running away from you. No one should chase anybody. But like going up and saying hi and being fun and flirty, like, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But we have a question that I would love for your help answering. Okay. The mailbag subject is figuring out my dating goals in quotes. Okay. Why is there so much hate for people who choose figuring out my dating goals as their relationship intention on Hinge? I recently downloaded the apps again after a long hiatus, long-term relationship, and followed by a battle with depression. And it's really hard for me to say for certain if my goal is casual or long-term, or even if I'm still not ready until I've gotten the feeling for how dating goes in practice. It's been 2 years since I've been on a date. I expect to be a little rusty and unsure. So of all the options Hinge gives, this one is the best for me. But I've noticed a lot of complaints about users who choose this option online, mostly TikTok, and I wonder where it comes from. You'd think that anger would be reserved for people who list long-term relationship when they really want otherwise, but the frustration almost always seems directed at the figuring out my dating goals people. What gives?
I think it's because people don't take it as like a genuine answer. They think that you want to like leave things open. You want to like use each person that you may match with for a different reason. You may want, like, you know, this girl may not be someone that you want to date, but if you say you're looking for a relationship, she's going to expect you to be seeking that out, whereas like you may not want that with that person. You maybe want a confidence boost, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. When you're first getting back into dating and stuff like that, like, there's nothing wrong with just going on a ton of dates to get your confidence back. Nothing wrong with that. But people don't want to hear that. Like, they don't want your bio to say, like, don't know what I want, but I'll accept a hookup, a confidence boost, a date, or marriage. They don't want to hear that, because then they're afraid of which category they're going to get put into. They are assuming that if you say you want a long-term relationship and you match with them, that you want a long-term relationship with them. Right. Which is insane, because you've never met before. I think that, like, what you're looking for on a dating app should just go away. I don't think there should even be a category.
I also think, like, everyone that says this, they always, like, blame the other person. I really think this is, like, a Hinge problem. Like, Hinge being, like, they're trying to be this whole, like, we're the app that's designed to be deleted, and they've chosen these kind of, like, wonky, like, pick list of options for what the intentions are that are causing people, like, I think, to be confused, and I think the frustration should be directed more at them than each other. Like, how's Hinge, like, because Hinge also has, like, instead of saying, like, serious relationship or casual, they have long-term or short-term relationship. And I guess short-term is supposed to be a euphemism for casual, which I think, like, most people kind of see that. But, like, I've seen people where they say, like, you know, I do want casual, but I'm not looking to just have a fling that I never see again, so can I put long-term? And it's like they want to avoid saying casual, or I don't know.
That's why, like I said, you should just get rid of that category on the page anyway, because all of those things are open to interpretation as it is.
Exactly.
So you're only asking for problems.
Exactly. But yeah, and I also think it's okay to, like, not know what you want. Like, if everyone had to know with 100% certainty that they were going on a date that they were confident would end in a serious relationship, like, nobody would date anybody. Like, so many relationships start because people, I wasn't really looking for anything, and then this person just crossed my path, or, I wasn't going to go on the date, and I just, said, let's just give it a shot, and like, lo and behold, we're married. Like, that's how dating works.
Yeah, you never really know. I mean, like, I had dating apps when I was single, and I went on dates and stuff from dating apps. Mm-hmm. But, like, of everybody that I would say I've had even, like, 3+ dates with, none of them have come off of a dating app. Mm-hmm. None of them.
Yeah. I think figuring out my dating goals is A-okay. I also think, like, it's okay to not put it. I think you don't know either way. I think also just the people that are kind of frustrated by the figuring out my dating goals where they're making TikToks about it. Like, everyone that's doing stuff on TikTok like that is sort of I don't think it reflects the majority. I think it's
right.
Yeah. Like, I think most people see that and they're kind of like, okay, like, tread with caution and figure it out for myself based on context clues of the actual dates.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a no-win situation because it's open to interpretation.
Yeah. All right, next one. How to tell if "let's take it slow" is genuine or a way to string me along. I, 27 female, met this guy, 32 male, on Hinge. We've been seeing each other consistently for the past month. He's a surgical resident, texts me every day. In the past month, we've seen each other about 7 times and spent 4 to 12 hours with each other in person. When we are in person, conversation flows. However, he hardly asks me any questions, both in person and over text. It makes me feel like he's not serious about getting to know me. Yesterday, I abruptly asked him, "What are your dating intentions?" To be fair, I didn't ask in the best time or place, so he was quite flustered. His response was that he was looking for a relationship but wants to, quote-unquote, take it slow. He said he doesn't view relationships as long-term versus short-term, but rather as experiences. Personally, this raised alarm bells as it's giving, let's just go with the flow, and that makes me feel like he's not looking for anything serious. He finished off with saying he likes me, likes hanging out, and that he wants what I want, but I didn't even tell him what I wanted, so how would he know? Again, I didn't ask in the appropriate time or place, so we didn't really get a chance to flesh out the details. Some other details. He's still on dating apps, which I can't blame him for because I am on them as well. For me, I continue talking to others because when I focus on one person, I fall very quickly, so talking to others is simply a means to manage my emotions. With that said, I can't be mad at him for talking to others, but I just thought I'd put the detail out there for context. My question, in your experience, when a guy says he wants to take it slow, is this a sign they're not interested or are they genuine? What are some signs that allow you to tell the difference?
That man should run away from her as fast as possible. She sounds like a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Well, he's not the letter writer.
She is.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you tell her?
He should run away from her as fast as possible. She sounds like a nightmare. Way too detail-oriented, worried about the wrong things. How are you even going to mention the fact that he's on dating apps when you're on them?
Yeah.
You want him to be interested in just you, but you don't want to just be interested in just him because it makes you fall too fast. And you, like, spring a question like that on someone who has a stressful job and probably just enjoys relaxing and hanging out with someone that he enjoys. You spring something like that on him. Maybe he just is a chill person and just is kind of going with things. Mm-hmm. All she's going to do is scare him away.
Yeah, I mean, I also, the vibe I get more so is just, do you actually, like, she keeps thinking, like, what does he want? What does he want? Do you actually like him? Like, she's describing things that make it seem like she's not into it. She's still on dating apps because she needs to talk to other, like, just to give herself options. But she says, however, he hardly asks me any questions in person. It makes me feel like he's not serious. You don't like that already. I didn't ask, let's just go with the flow. Oh, I didn't like that he said that. All these things that, she's feeling wary about, like, rather than being confused, just let yourself be turned off and pivot to something where you feel more certain. Like, go look for something else. It seems like this isn't the match.
Yeah, she sounds crazy. Her question has nothing to do with the storybook that she wrote.
The question...
She wrote a whole book and then says, like, it is someone saying that they want to take it slow just a reason to drag you along. But then she, like, gives us all these things about not feeling like he's interested and she's not sure if it's what she wants either. It's like 2 completely different topics. She, like, rambled on. Like, no, as someone wanting to go slow, I don't think people intentionally string you on. If you think that someone is like stringing you along, don't sleep with them. Keep physical and like serious things to a very minimum. Keep it very like surface level at all times. And if they're just stringing you along, they'll let you go.
Yeah. Like, no one intentionally is like, I'm going to string this person along. I think most people genuinely.
Unless you're giving them a benefit.
Yeah. Like, most people aren't like, oh, I'll just blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not that strategic. It's just if they don't care as much as you do, they're not thinking that far ahead. Like, I think most people genuinely believe what they're saying to be true as they're saying it. But some people, like, if it doesn't matter that much to them, they just don't put a lot of forethought into it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there has to be a benefit for him if he's going to be stringing her along. So remove that benefit, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
And see if he's still there. If he shows up and he's like, hey, how come, like, you don't hold my hand anymore? Or how come you don't want to, like, come over after, like, we have a date and watch a movie? Or how come you don't text me back as often? Whatever the thing is that you feel like is the benefit, if he brings it up and says, like, hey, how come you don't do that anymore? And you go, well, I just didn't know if you were, like, really interested, so I've kind of pulled back. Like, yeah, I'm just busy. Like, then he's showing interest. If not, then you're like, okay, maybe this was just a time waster. Most people don't have time, especially a medical resident, to waste. He's probably not wasting your time and his.
Yeah. Well, if we strip her question, because I think she actually does have a good, I would say, question that I don't think is as relevant to her story as she might think. But I think there is kind of the, how do you tell if take it slow is genuine versus, and I don't want to say string someone along, but like a way that someone.
You can never tell if anything's genuine.
Yeah, that's true.
Use your best judgment. If you're that worried about it, if you're seeing this person for however long she said and you're still on the apps, probably not the one for you. You should move on. Save both of your time.
Yeah. Do people ever say, I really want to take it slow, and they're genuinely pursuing a relationship and just want things to slow down? Or is that usually
No, I think they
maybe
do.
they don't realize it yet? But
I think they do. I think maybe you like meet the right person at the wrong time and like you need some time to like ease into it or ease out of something else or get yourself ready. And so you don't want to rush. Maybe you haven't been single that long, but you do really like this person. So you want to like take it slow and not get so committed because maybe you have a tendency to do that, or maybe you're just coming out of something fresh and you don't want to let the person go because you really like them. So yeah, I think that everything is possible. It's like some of these questions, like I think people are looking for an answer that they already know in their head. They're looking for confirmation of a way that they already think. Like she feels like she's being strung along. She doesn't want to know if it's stringing along. She feels like she's being strung along and she wants the answer to confirm, or she feels like she's being strung along and she doesn't want that to be the case. So she's looking for someone to like boost her back up.
Yeah.
It's not really like real advice. Like, you know how you feel. If you feel like you're being strung along, then that's not a good way to feel.
Yeah.
So bring it up to the person and let them deal with it however they will.
Yeah. I think people should be less, confused and what do they really mean, and be more, I think, turned off. And I would have a different answer for her if she said, oh my gosh, I really like this guy. I'm ready to delete my apps and I have so much fun with him. And
sure. If she had said like, I deleted my apps, he hasn't deleted his, I really enjoy time with them and blah, 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 whatever. Also think like when you get into a relationship with someone that's busy, like he is probably busy, there's going to be certain things that you don't get.
Yeah.
She did say he's a medical resident, right?
Yeah. And that's a world that like is very hard to understand if you're not in it.
Well, sure. And I'm sure he is tired of thinking. The last thing he wants to do is like think. So he's probably taking it slow while he's in his residency. It's probably his intention not to like jump right into something because he might know that he doesn't have a lot to give right now.
Yeah.
And if that's not okay with you, he's not the one for you anyway.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, I think this is just it's not the match, and I think there's other fish in the sea.
Sure.
All right. This is an interesting one. Why did I find a small leash in my new boyfriend's backpack? My new boyfriend has recently been going on walks in parks alone. He takes a backpack with him, which is stocked with supplies for whatever could happen. I needed Tums recently and was looking for them when at his apartment. I thought they were in his backpack and decided to look there. I found a pink leash in there, and neither of us owns a dog. I asked him why it was in there, and at first he didn't have an answer. He chuckled a little and said, "Oh, it's a joke." Then a couple seconds later, he said it was in case he needed to lasso someone. Then he tried to make another excuse, but I can't remember because it was even crazier than the last one. So yes, no stupid questions. Why would my boyfriend have a leash in his backpack and not have a straight answer for why it is in there?
No clue. I mean, if he has a bag full of things so he's prepared for anything, maybe if he sees a stray dog, he wants to be able to like hook a leash to the stray dog.
But why wouldn't he give a straight answer?
Because that would sound, because a lot of women would say that that's a lie. And they want they want to like confirm something they're already thinking. But I mean, what does she think it is?
That's the thing. I mean, she didn't go look. She said, "Why is there a pink leash in the backpack?" And then I think that.
I mean, when I had a dog, I had leashes of all colors because at the vet, they just give you like one of the cheap leashes when you walk in the door. Like my dog never wore a leash ever. I didn't even have one for the longest time. I would use like an old shoelace to walk him in because he didn't need it. He just stayed beside me the whole way. And so they have to have a leash at the vet. So they have them like hanging on the door. So when you walk in, they just grab one and put it on. So I had pink ones. I had orange ones. I don't own anything orange. They had blue ones, green ones, everything. Just had like a variety pack. They probably get it vets.com or something. I don't know.
He doesn't have a dog.
Yeah, but he goes walking in parks a lot by himself. So maybe he encounters strays or someone else's dog off of a leash, and I don't know.
That's an interesting one and kind of out of left field. But let's see.
I saw something on TikTok today while I was walking to the grocery store. That was people are giving Taylor Swift, I guess, a bunch of drama because one of the people that she posts pictures with, I guess he's a friend of hers, is a Trump supporter.
Uh-oh.
And they're like saying she's hanging out with Trumpers, which I think is really interesting because it's a very recent thing that you can't publicly hang out with people that might have different political beliefs. Like when our parents were younger, hanging out with friends and stuff, you didn't really talk about politics because that was only a very small segment of your life. So like if you were single, and now I think today people make it like 51% of their personality, if not more. Like politics is everything. They don't want to hang out with anybody that has different views than them. Their friend group is very confirmation bias, left or right, whichever way. Would you be interested in dating someone that was that way, where politics was like a major part of their life? Not like it wasn't their job. They weren't being paid. Like it'd be different if you were dating a senator.
Yeah, no. Like that was all like, and I've always been that way. I grew up in a house divided, and I thought that was really cool. Like we always made a point to have dinner as a family together and like talk about different issues. And I land pretty middle of the road. My mind can be changed. My mind has changed over the years. Sometimes it changes back depending on what the world looks like.
Yeah.
But I really think, yeah, like I think sometimes everyone needs a job, and if your job is in politics, different story. But like I think when you're going like too hard in the politics realm, or it's like affecting like real world friendships, and you don't want to be friends with people just because of, you know, something like how they voted or how they might, like what they might do behind the voting booth. So much so, like I know people where it's like, I'm unfollowing anyone who follows Donald Trump on Instagram.
Right.
Or I'm unfollowing anyone who follows Governor Abbott on Instagram. It's like, he's the governor of Texas. I follow him so I can get Texas news. Like,
well, I was just about to say that.
Like,
yeah, like do you?
I always follow. I follow anyone who's the president. I follow Kamala, Biden. And I think I do follow Donald Trump because they're.
It takes you, if you shield yourself from the other side, regardless of whatever side you're on, you fall into this like confirmation bias wormhole to where all you hear is your side. I think that's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Like I intentionally want to hear both sides of everything. I want to know. I want to be educated. I never want to be one of those people on TikTok that like the political accounts like make videos stitching where they're like, look how stupid this person is. Or like you post something, you don't realize that it's fake, or you don't realize that it's incorrect or whatever. So that's interesting. Yeah, I agree. I think like it would be really hard to be in a relationship with someone who did it as their job, as like a talking head, like a Charlie Kirk or a Candace Owen or whatever. But we don't know what they're really like when cameras turn off. Also, they're probably a lot more reasonable. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know that I could be with someone that is like, again, a majority of who that person is their political views.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. I also I don't want to give politicians too much power. Like I've never donated to a politician. I never will. Just because my taxes pay their salary and they work for me. So I'm not giving them my money.
Yeah.
That isn't already coming out of my taxes.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a weird thing. It's an interesting thought.
What other dating topic thing is crossing your mind?
I don't know. I think that's kind of a big one right now. I think that dating, no one's really been talking about dating right now because politics is everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Dating is, I think everything's kind of taking a back seat right now. You know, I think like family structure, we talked about this yesterday, is really interesting when talking about politics as well. Like Kamala not having kids is a big deal to a lot of people. I mean, she's a stepmother, so that's whatever. But I don't know. I don't get a lot of dating content anymore.
Yeah.
Not as of recently, anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like too, like, and I think I would assume it's probably, if I think about it, maybe why I'm making like less content is just how I feel like these political topics are weaseling their way into the TikTok comment section, where it's like women this, men that. Like it's always been kind of like that, but just like so much more so. I
think a lot of like those things have kind of ran their course too, like the red pill, blue pill. I mean, like, yeah, those guys like aren't. None of them really are like that visible on social media, at least on my pages anymore. I don't see Pearl anymore. I don't see like Tinks. I don't see the Fresh and Fit guys. I don't see the Whatever Pod. I don't see Destiny. And when you do see Destiny, he's like getting shut down in a debate with like Ben Shapiro or something. Like,
yeah,
I think that like dating had this like, and men versus women had this like really big like catapult, like meteoric rise real quick, and then it just kind of like, I think people got sick of every conversation being about men versus women, women versus men, men versus women. Like, I say this on every video I've ever done about dating, but like if you want to be in a relationship, you have to realize that it's two people. Like if you only view relationships as someone earning you, then that's not a relationship you want to be in.
No, that's prostitution.
It's just not, it's not like, why would you want to be with someone who doesn't deserve you as who they are in your eyes? Like they need to earn you. That's not someone that you want to be with. Like a relationship should be mutually beneficial. It shouldn't be like, I need to be earned. And same thing for men. Like, you know, it shouldn't be like,
what do you bring to the table?
Yeah, both sides are so stupid. But we are in a team world right now where you're team Apple, your team Samsung or Android, your team Republican or Democrat, man or woman. You know, everything in our world is one way or the other.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. What do you think about what's her name? Simone Biles and her boyfriend are like in the media talking about couples.
Oh shoot! Is there something recent or is it just the?
Well, I mean, just because she's in the Olympics right now.
Oh yeah. Like
he got out of training camp. They gave him an exemption out of training camp to go.
That's sweet.
To the Olympics. Yeah.
That's good. I do think I think it kind of shone a lot of light on. I hope like women kind of learn from this. Whenever you talk about your relationship, like I think some people like to rewrite the story of how they got together with their significant other, and you see this all the time on those freaking our story pages for people's wedding websites, where they write this story as like, oh, it was just this bumbling dude who chased me down, and oh my gosh, like he just tripped over every rock at every turn, and he just finally got my attention, blah blah blah, and they describe it as like this ho-hum dude just chasing them down. It kind of like it makes the guy look bad. It doesn't make it look like a healthy two-way street. And that's probably not how it happened, because like a lot of those I've read and I'm like, I've seen your relationship journey. I know for a fact you were bugging him about like rings and when are you going to propose. So that's not how the story went. And I think Simone Biles' husband's story kind of sounded like that, and it kind of made him look like shit. And I think when you're telling the story of your significant other, you should always describe them in the best possible way.
Yeah. I think it's funny because the media paints him, and I don't know enough about him, but paints him as like he feels like he's the star in the relationship, which, I mean, what dictates who's the star? She's more widely recognizable, but he probably makes way more money just because the NFL pays way better than the $35,000 you get to win gold in the Olympics. I mean, she does more than just that, obviously, but I don't know. That was interesting. I just had one and it just escaped me.
Yeah, but she adores him. Like anytime someone pokes fun at her for it, she's like, go F yourself. Like I don't know. I get like sarcastic fun vibes from them both.
She just posted a video of them together, and he's like got her medal on, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. And I think if there was really truly a red flag thing, she wouldn't be standing up for him that hard.
Yeah,
she
I agree.
Loves him.
Dang. Yeah. You know, something I think that's interesting, and we've kind of talked about this, is we went to Zach Bryan on Saturday. This will be quick, but his relationship, he is very public, but he's also like very forthcoming with information. Like he posts snippets of songs, he posts pictures. You were saying that you really feel like she is on like Brianna Chicken Fry. Brie is like maybe finding herself in this relationship. She's like, I think she's a lot more likable now than she was as like New York or Boston Brie, whichever ward she was living in.
Yeah. Well,
I think her like on the road, going to events, going to his shows, interacting with fans, I think she's a lot more likable right now.
Oh, 100%. Because it's also like she's going into smaller cities. Like when you're around New York people aren't friendly. Like she was in influencer circles or kind of adjacent to them in New York. And now it's like you're going to Oklahoma. You're going to people who have like saved up their money to come see Zach Bryan sing. And it's like really just humble, like salt of the earth people. And I think that will bring out the best in anybody, like being around good, normal people. You're
also sitting in stadiums full of like 50, 60, 70,000 people who are in love with the person that you're in love with. Mm-hmm. Like you're constantly hearing how like this person changed my life, or how much like they mean to them, like you said, like spending the money. So yeah, that's a celebrity relationship that I feel like is in a good place. We're not hearing much about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift anymore.
No. They were monopolizing the airwaves a lot. What other celebrity relationships do you admire?
None of them. Really? I mean, like, who do you, like, I don't know. You mean like TikTok relationships?
No,
like real
I mean,
ones?
you can go, celebrity can be broad. They can be dead.
I don't know. I mean, none. I don't really look at celebrities that way, though.
True.
I don't believe like that any of it's real. I mean, I think that like Ryan Reynolds and what's her name, Blake Lively, isn't that his wife's name?
Yeah.
Like I think their relationship is really fun. It feels like a real person relationship. Like they make fun of it and laugh about it and stuff like that. Outside of that, I don't really know that I think about celebrities' relationships.
Yeah. I think mine is out of left field. George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush.
Okay.
Both are dead now, but the love letters they've written to each other are so sweet.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
Another one I would say is, like as a horror fan, is Sherry Moon Zombie and Rob Zombie. He puts her in his movies despite everyone saying, why the fuck does she have to be in another movie? Just because he loves his wife and making movies.
Tim Burton and his wife do the same thing.
Yeah.
She's in like every movie of his, isn't she? Are they still together? I mean, they're probably Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, like how they had in Bridesmaids the air marshal thing. That's her actual real life husband.
I
But
couldn't make it through that movie.
every movie she's in, she asks for a small role for her real life husband.
That's cool. What's our favorite actor and his wife? Bring It On girl and supporting actor guy.
Oh my gosh, yes. Jesse, what's his face?
Plemons.
Jesse Plemons. I love them.
And Kirsten Dunst. Yeah.
They're great.
Agreed. That's a good one.
Yeah, he was in the Civil War movie.
Yep.
Because they
And
had
they
the
were in
guy
Fargo
back out.
together, too.
Yeah, that's how they met.
In Fargo? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. In Civil War, the other person backed out, and she was like, he's here anyway.
Yeah.
Just let him hop in there.
And he stole the show.
Killed it. He was so good.
That movie was a trip.
It was good. It got a lot of flack because I think people wanted it to be something else.
I liked that it was what it was. I wouldn't see it again, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't care to watch it again.
Yeah, but it was good.
What about, I guess there's not really any, like, right now, like, I'm telling you, like, people are not talking about relationships. Like, it's not even, I feel like it's not even in the media, like, celebrity relationships.
It's not. People are too focused on fucking Kamala's weird. I don't know. What is her marketing campaign doing with the little green brats? What? Okay, has the definition for brat changed? Is brat what it always has been? Like people like it's a brat summer. Like, does brat mean what it's always meant? Like sassy kid?
Yeah, I think it's like all based around a song. We sound old right now.
Oh my god.
But all they're trying to do, her campaign, and this is going to obviously political again, but like all they're trying to do is attack Gen Z. They're trying to get young votes. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, she had her thing in Atlanta last night or night before last, whenever it was, and like had Megan Thee Stallion like twerking on stage. It had nothing to do with like policy or anything, you know. Like it's really interesting to see like how these campaigns have basically turned into like who can talk more trash about the other one instead of like actual policy. It's really interesting. No one's talking about RFK.
Yeah.
Jr. He would be the first single president.
That would be right? Single president.
Wouldn't he be the first?
He would be the first unmarried president, yeah. Because he has Cheryl Hines.
Yeah, they're dating, whatever.
I wonder that, because, like, I think there's a certain demo that wouldn't want to vote for a single president, but also it's like, if you're the president and you want to cheat on your wife or have a mistress, is the Secret Service obligated to stop you?
No.
Like, does the Secret Service, can you be like, don't tell my wife, and they listen?
I think they're probably loyal to you first, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Or
and
like
someone let Monica Lewinsky in the office.
But she had a cover story. She was an intern.
You don't think anybody knew that? You don't think that place has got cameras and microphones everywhere?
I mean, that's a great question that I will definitely be looking up the answer to after this. I don't know if that's relevant. I think those are kicking in.
Okay.
But yeah,
we're done.
It's wicked fun. We are done. Thank you, everybody. We will be back probably next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, fam.
Bye.
Bye.